name's Sequoia. I'm the creator and founder of Silky, and I'm here today to talk to you about how you can prevent traction alopecia from wearing wigs. Now, here at Silky, we love everything wigs. We give you a lot of tips and we do a lot of product reviews on wigs and other wig products. And so since September is Alopecia Awareness Month, we really wanted to talk about traction alopecia and how you can avoid it. Now, there are different types of alopecia, but today, again, we're going to be talking to you about traction alopecia. For those of you who are not familiar with alopecia, alopecia is the partial or complete absence of hair from areas of the body where it normally grows, baldness. So alopecia, like I said, comes in many forms. Traction alopecia can be caused from the constant pulling and tugging of hair. It usually happens over time. It's usually around the edges of your hair and can also be in the crown. The great thing about traction alopecia is if you catch it early, you can stop it, and you are able to regrow your hair, or you may be suffering from just edge losses or your edges thinning from wearing wigs and doing protective styling for so much time. So these tips that I'm going to give hopefully will help you do that. Now, before I get into these tips, please know that I am not a medical professional, and none of the advice and the tips that I'm giving you in this video should substitute that. If you think you're suffering from traction alopecia, or a matter of fact of alopecia of any form, you really should see a medical professional. Go to your doctor or to a dermatologist. Seek out information or advice from your cosmetologist or a licensed hairstylist before you do any kind of treatment or anything. Please do your own research. I know that I have done my research. I've been wearing wigs for years, and so these are some things that I have done to help prevent me from getting traction alopecia. So I hope that it will help you out well. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into these tips. So first tip is not braiding your hair too tight. I know a lot of times under your wig you will do braids, whether it be cornrows in different styles, whether it be a simple 2 braids going to the back, 1 big braid, bun, ponytail. But anything that you're doing, if you're pulling it super tight, that tension over time is going to cause hair loss, which can lead to traction alopecia. So whether you braid your own hair or you have someone else braiding your hair, you really don't want it too tight. Also, another thing you can do is not get your edges and those really fine hairs around your hairline. Don't get those braided. Also, if the braids are so tight that you're getting a headache, or they're pulling so tight that they're causing those little bumps that you sometimes will get, those red bumps or like white bumps, you definitely want to loosen it. You can put some oil around there, or the best thing to do is just take them out completely, and just be aware of not braiding your hair super tight, or not allowing someone else to braid your hair super tight. All those things and that tension, that stress over time will definitely lead to traction alopecia. So please keep the braids nice and neat, but not too tight. Tip number 2 is you want to change your braid pattern often. Now, braids are a great way to wear your hair underneath your wig because it helps your hair lay flat, so that when you put your wig on, it'll give a more realistic look, right? Because it's sitting on your head more flat. So of course we all want our wigs to look more natural, but if you want to wear braids underneath it, that's fine. That's a great way on its own to protect your hair. But again, you don't want it to be too tight, and you definitely don't want to keep wearing the same braid pattern, because over time what that is doing is causing those same areas to be stretched and pulled time and time again, and that stress and that tension over time can also lead to hair loss. So instead of wearing your braids all the way back, you can change them to where you're wearing them maybe one this way, or all of the ones on to the braid to the right, all of them braided to the left, one down the middle and some down on the sides, just any other way, 2 ponytails, a bun, just different things over time. And you can switch it, maybe for a couple weeks you wear your hair in one braid pattern, and then maybe for the next week you wear it in another braid pattern. But just changing up the style can make a huge difference over time, and you can continue to protect your own hair, and you're not causing that tension to keep building up over time in those same places, in that same area, so that you don't have to worry about losing hair. So tip number 3 is don't wear your wig super tight. So now I know some of you who may be watching this video may already have traction alopecia or some hair loss or thinning edges, and that is fine. We all love to wear a good wig, and whether you're wearing the wig for medical reasons or whether you're wearing the wig for fashion and style, you definitely want to make sure that you're being protected. And a wig that's too tight will do the same thing that what we were talking about with braids and things will do over time. That pressure and that tension from wearing it too tight is going to over time start thinning the hair, because you know, a wig can slide and can move, and just that tension is going to over time pull your hair out. So if you have a wig and you wear it and it's too tight and you can't loosen it, and there's no way for you to maybe make the cap a little bit larger, you definitely don't want to wear it. If it's giving you a headache, you definitely want to take it off. If you are really in love with the wig and you just can't do without the wig, I would definitely say do not wear that wig a lot, and especially not every day, because over time that wig will do that same thing that too tight braids would do. It will end up taking your hair out. And the hair around your head is very fine and very thin around your hairline and around the nape of your neck, so you really want to do everything you can to protect it. The next thing you can do to avoid traction alopecia when you're wearing your wig is you don't want to always have to glue your wig down. Over time, those adhesives, those glues, and the different things that you're doing to secure the wig can end up taking your edges or pulling your edges out, especially if you're not taking the time to properly remove the glue before you put the wig on. So if you're using some type of glue or some type of adhesive, make sure that you are reading the instructions for what it says you should do to remove the glue or remove the product before taking it off. You definitely don't want to just yank it off or rip it off. Take your time. A lot of times oils or alcohol really helps with that, so you want to make sure you're not doing that. And then as much as you can, you know, substitute gluing your wig down, and you can put a strap in the back of your wig. And if you sew these straps in, those really help to keep the wig in place, and so that way you don't have to worry about always having to glue your wig down and giving your hair a break. You can also use a wig grip or a wig fix instead of glue. Wig fixes and wig grips have become super popular. You can get them anywhere from your local beauty supply to online. And what they do is they are bands that go around your edges to protect them from the combs that are in wigs. So a lot of times people will use comb, especially with half wigs and headband wigs being so popular. People use those combs so it can end up thinning your hair in the middle of the crown. It also will end up thinning your edges. So you just want to make sure that you're using those, and you can actually take the combs and lift up the wig grip or the wig fix and put the combs underneath those, so that way the combs are still being used. The wig can be attached to the wig grip or the wig fix instead of being attached to your actual hair, and that way it is staying in place and your edges are still being protected. The next tip is you want to put oil around your edges 3 to 4 times a week. So depending on how much you really wear wigs and how often you really wear them is more about how much you should be putting oil in your hair. But if you wear wigs every single day, then I definitely would recommend it. I would do it, probably the best time is really at night, but you can definitely do it in the day before you put your wig on. But we have put together a free PDF giving you 5 oils that you can use right now, so you don't need to research it. You can just check out our description box. The PDF is down there, and these oils are great oils that you can use on your edges to help keep them rejuvenated, keep them protected, to help them be stimulated, and keep them from getting worn down over time as you are wearing your wigs and doing your different styling. You definitely want to put it around the front of your hair, your hairline, and even the back and the nape of your neck. A lot of times we forget about the hair back there. The hair back there is very thin, and a lot of times there's combs in the back or those bands that I was just talking about sewing in. All that over time rubbing can also have its wear and tear on your hair. So a little bit of oil just helps to keep your hair protected, and you can put the oil in at night before you go to bed so that you can have it rubbed in really good. Also a great thing to do for your scalp, because healthy hair really starts with the scalp, is you want to do scalp massages or really brushing your hair. I know they have those scalp brushes that you can take and use when you're washing your hair. You can take it, and even at night when you're sitting around or just Netflix and chilling, take it and just rub your scalp to help stimulate growth and help get that blood flowing, so that way you won't have to worry about, you know, over time when you're doing your protective styling with your wigs and even different styles, that you're not having so much tension that it ends up resulting in pulling the hair out. And the last tip is super simple and super easy, and it's give your hair a break. Sometimes, just like you need a break in life, so does your scalp, and so does your hair. So I know a lot of people, like I said earlier, do wear wigs every day for health or medical reasons. That's okay, but maybe at night you're not sleeping in your wig. That's a way you can give your hair a break, or just taking the time to sometimes actually wearing your hair. I know for me, sometimes I will just put my hair in a simple bun or a simple ponytail just to give it a break, you know, let it breathe, let it air out, let my scalp get some fresh air, let it get stimulated, you know, combing it and brushing it and just taking really good care of your hair, period, if you have it. And then if you are suffering from any type of hair loss or anything going on, making sure that you are, like I said earlier, seeking some medical help and asking, you know, what are tips, maybe medicines are things that they would recommend and have you do to make sure that you're stimulating your hair growth or protecting your hair. So those were my tips on how you can avoid getting traction alopecia while wearing your wigs. Again, this is Alopecia Awareness Month, so make sure that you are taking the time to find out about alopecia, and maybe, you know, you'll take the time to maybe donate something. Also, our sister company, Hair Sacks, has blue hair sacks that you can store your wigs and your hair extensions in, and the bag is satin lined, so it actually protects the hair so that when the hair is inside of the bag, it's just gliding, so you don't have to worry about it getting tangled, matted, and shedding, and you'll be ready to go. And the blue ones, you can take 10% off right now because, again, this is Alopecia Awareness Month. Their color is blue, so we are doing a special deal on our blue hair sacks. Again, this is our sister company, so the link to hair sacks will also be down below. Again, I want to say thank you so much for watching, because here at Silky Sacks, our motto is better care is better wear. So we want to make sure that you're taking better and good care of your wigs and your hair underneath. If you have any questions, or if you have any tips and things that you're doing to protect your own hair, or if you even have traction alopecia and you know some things that we didn't talk about or mention in the video, please share them down below in the comments. I always love to hear from you guys. Again, I want to say thank you so much for watching. Remember, better care is better wear, and I hope to see you in the next video.